Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic, and welcome to 2024. We're gonna kick it off with some freeware, I think, although the major Steam Christmas sale has been going on, so hopefully you guys have picked up some decent stuff that you've so desired from Steam. Doesn't necessarily have to be train related. I know I picked up a couple entertaining games, but I picked up a lot of DLC as well, because truth be told, I don't find most train simulator content to be worth full asking price, so I wait till sales. But I think we'll kick it off with some freeware, because I think this freeware is really cool. It just released I believe 2 days ago. This was a New Year's release. I got to tinker with it a little bit yesterday, not as much as I'd like to. And it's a little bit different out of my realm anyway. I don't typically get to look at early, I believe this is German. Maybe the Netherlands. I have a lot of trouble trying to read these languages. Trying to do the research on what these are, and it's a little bit of a hassle, to say the least. For people like me, anyway. But somebody might find it very easy. But as the weeks go, or as hopefully the next couple weeks go on, as long as I get the time, I'll be going over a lot of different freeware that has released since I've been gone, because I was gone for the last few weeks. I was out of state. We'll go over some of the stuff I picked up on sale, some of the stuff that I haven't seen videos done of, just for giggles and squiggles, and we'll go from there. But this is the NS 1300 Steam Locomotive pack from WaysideWorks. I believe it was developed by it's Pheonix Developments, I believe. Pheonix Developments. So they're the guys that built this model and then released it on WaysideWorks. It is freeware entirely. And now that I'm looking it up, I managed to find these are Dutch, so they're English built locomotives for Dutch railways. Built by Bayer, Peacock and Company in when was it? 1880 to 1895, with a total of 179 built, according to Wikipedia. These were used for what? Got a maximum speed of around 90 kilometers an hour, or about 56 miles an hour. Not fast, but pretty typical for this time period. These are very early, which is pretty cool. On a side note, it's kind of rare that we get to look at content this early in really any train simulator, outside of certain games that aren't really simulators per se, such as Railroads Online. But the mid to late 1800s is pretty rare for train sims, so it's kind of a cool side note. We never get to see stuff this early. But Stevenson valve gear, outside frame, as you can see. And we get a handful of different liveries in the pack, and some rolling stock, which is really nice. So a set of passenger cars. That's why we're still in the editor, because I can't read not one of these words. I did not do that well in foreign language. I can barely read a little bit of German and some Spanish, so. But you'll also have to excuse me, because I am getting back from having awful allergies and the cold and everything else, so all that nice crud. Let's see. Where are we? So the built in 1880s, 180 built, 179, 180. Withdrawals began in 1925 up until about 1940, with one singular example being preserved, all others scrapped. Let's see, which locomotive was saved? NS 1326, restored to the condition of SS 326, preserved by the Dutch Railway Museum. So that's pretty cool. One survivor. I believe these were typically used as passenger service locomotives. From what I can tell, these were typically used in passenger services. So, what all are we going to get in the pack? We're going to get 3 different paint schemes. My favorite being this blue. I absolutely love that. That is such a neat one. I only placed 3 because 3 almost always seems to be the limit for the out-of-memory errors, so truth be told, I might end up deleting one, but we got the MD, or the MBDS, which is this blue, the NS, which is the dark green, and the SS, which is the light green. As I said, my computer typically has problems with anything more than 3. I don't know why. Welcome to Train Simulator. Out-of-memory errors are a fact of life in this game. But, so I'm not going to bother clicking on anything else. But, just know that with the blue paint scheme, this no wheel bands, I believe they're talking about the white wall. So this other scheme, they won't have white walls. And then of course the preserved locomotive 326 is this right here, but with flags on it. No difference. So, but as I said, the reason we're still in the editor is the nice list of coaches that go with it. As I said, I can't read not one of these words, so we're going to sit here in the editor and we're going to just place them down and you guys can read what is what. So we'll hop back here on a nice clear stretch. And starting from the top, 1, 2. Oh goodness. I got a new keyboard and I'm having a little bit of a play around with it. So honestly, a pretty neat set of cars. Once again, they're very... did I already place it? I did. So let me get to that. They're those early, kind of late Victorian era styling. A very artistic time period, one could say. I think I got this one. Yeah, I think I did. There we go here. Now, I did read the prefix for the Westinghouse, so these locomotives, or these train sets later on got Westinghouse brake sets, so there is a difference. Some have Westinghouse brake systems on them, some do not. Some of these do not have brakes at all. And you can pretty well see, you know, we got brakes, we got no brakes. We got brakes. Brakes. So, yeah, you can pretty well see which cars have brakes, which ones don't. But you will have to play through the handbrakes and whatnot. But that is all of the coaches that we get. So, for giggles and squiggles, I'll just place a couple of these. Couple of these so that we, you know, have something to go behind this locomotive to pull. like the look of this car. It's kind of for, once again, giggles and squiggles. So there we are. That is everything you will get in the pack. Again, entirely freeware. You literally just click download and install it. So, hopping into our scenario here. These are really cool looking. I mean, for freeware, I see a lot of payware that gets pushed out in the last year that doesn't look this good. And of course I picked the spot right next to an active industry that makes noise. But oh well, such is life, as some would say. So, certain little details will change between the locomotives depending on the era and paint scheme. So like, no markers, marker like little panels, I think. Marker lights. But probably the most noticeable difference is definitely the paint scheme, and obviously the brake rigging if you pick a model that's got the Westinghouse brake system, as you can see here, which these two locomotives do not have. So, little things like that definitely change that are, you know, noticeable. But other than that, they are pretty well the same locomotive. They all use the same sounds from what I can tell. Therefore, I've used all three of these. I haven't used every single one. I haven't placed out each and every single one of them and ran all of them individually. But they do have the same sounds so far, so there's that. There's no reason for me to jump between all of them. But up close, these are really good looking locomotives. I'm going to hop back here where there's a little bit more light. You can kind of see with the green. But really, really nice looking locomotives. Overall, the detailing is really nice. The texturing is pretty nice. It does have some kind of noticeable off items, such as the bands here, this black. They're kind of off kilter all the way down, all the way around, whereas these are pretty smooth all the way across. Kind of off kilter there. Not too terribly noticeable. The actual detailing up close is awesome. These rivets, you guys know how much I love my 3D rivets. The plate here, it's a separate object, but it is a 2D texture, and it kind of sticks out a little bit. It's kind of odd looking, but they are legible, so that's nice. Love me some legible words. Of course, the lettering, the number is pretty hard to see on the green. I don't think, yeah, I didn't think so. That one doesn't have it. That one does. Again, kind of unnoticeable, but yeah. It's pretty cool. The lettering is separate little objects here. Same for this. Again, nice and legible. The brass looks pretty good. Inside the frame, all of our valve gear and rods and such are nicely modeled. Love that. I love watching it. It's such a satisfying thing to watch. But overall, the color is just really, really nice. That's a bit of an oddity right here. It's kind of a texture coloring that just doesn't play well, I don't think. It's not as bad on the green, on the dark green. Probably the least noticeable over here on the blue, but blue hides a lot. A little bell over here on the side. I didn't notice that. Yeah, I guess they all do. Obviously, the NS model here got the Westinghouse brakes, as I said earlier. Couple little details will change. It's got a kind of a little fireman's cab over the tender back here, and then they'll have the associated brake rigging or controls to go with the brakes. But other than that, they really are the same locomotive. It's really good looking though. Really, really good looking. Lines look pretty crispy. Like me some crispy lines. That's a little bit blurry. Yeah. The frame line is a bit blurry, which is kind of odd considering some of these smaller lines came out a lot better, but oh well. Again, it's not terribly noticeable. Of course, we don't have lines over here outside of the black line around the tender, which is pretty crispy. Pretty good looking. I love these headlights too. These are oil headlamps. These are not electric. And they look the part. You know, they're not obnoxiously bright, white, ugly LEDs that so many models have in this game. Really look good. Some of my favorite headlights in this game. I love those. Really look cool. Not too bright, kind of dim. They look like a little fire. And then of course the rolling stock, which we'll hop back here. So we get kind of this boxcar looking thing, I assume is like a baggage or parcel van. Kind of a, I don't know, guards brake van. It's like a guard van as far as the UK goes. Got these little windows on the side. I have no idea what this is up here. Almost like a caboose for the United States, I guess. Hop up here, stare out the window. These do have interiors too, which is pretty cool. Another brake handle back here. Don't think there's really anything in the boxcar. Nope. Same car, different color. Same car, different color. Boxcar, different color. Boxcar, different color. So I assume the numbers on the doors are what class. So we got a third class car here. Now these are pretty cool in that these are, you can't go up and down corridors or anything in these cars. Whatever door you get in, that's your little compartment there. So it's pretty neat. I think it's pretty cool anyway. Got your own little compartment here. It's very nicely done. Overall, I really do like it. It's kind of odd that you can't see the door. These doors do open whenever you get to a passenger platform and you enable it to do its thing. All these doors will open. Unfortunately, they don't fill up with passengers though, so there are no loaded, unloaded variants. They're all just empty. A little sad, but what can you do? So, got that. We'll hop down here. A little bit different here. Why does it look so different? So windows. This car has more windows on it than this one. How odd. So this is A, B, C, D, 3. I would assume this is third class, but these are big, cushiony, plush seats, and these are definitely just benches. It's all one open room. These are pretty nice. Pretty cool. I like little, oh, what do you call them? Lamps. I do think they're a little bit white though, as far as the color goes. I think the headlights on the locomotives do a better job at showing a little lamps. It is kind of entertaining that they're not bright though. They're just very white. Hush. Got kind of a guards brake version of this third car right here. So it's got this little Got a doghouse up here, the brake handle. I'm curious on how you're supposed to get up into. I guess you get in this car like right here. It's a pretty tight fit. Kind of odd. Then we got a lamp that's kind of poking through right here, but these are coaches, not something that you're really gonna notice. The detailing on them is really nice though. Rivets, bars, bells, whistles. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know what it does, but it looks cool. Even the brass fittings look pretty good. And all the lettering and the words is nice and legible, which is so nice. Again, I've seen brand new stuff come out, and you get up close to small lettering like this, and it's all blurry, low res. These are not. These are very noticeable, very easily read, nice and crispy. I love it. And it goes all the way down for all these coaches and boxcars and whatnot. Really do like it. Kind of a different paint scheme for those things down here. Kind of an orangish color. Another boxcar. Some other coaches here. Oh, this is a postal van. Looks pretty good. It's pretty empty. Got no letters to send to people. Everybody already sent their stuff out on Christmas, I guess. It's pretty cool. Wrong side. We gotta go this way. I assume this is the same car. It is. So 2 postal vans. This is, I guess, second class. Pretty much the same interior as down there. Got kind of a cool little platform back here. I don't know what it's for, but it's cool. Some interesting Bluetooth couplers. And then we get kind of the brownish color. Third class, third class, third class. Wooden interiors. And that's that. That's all the rolling stock that'll come with the pack. So let's hop in it and take a trip. So first off, gotta be sure that our track is set so that we don't run into anything on our way out. I guess I could go with that line right there. Swap it over to this track. Yeah, there we go. That way we can kind of get out here and let it run. So, you can choose your headlight setup using, I believe it's control or shift. So shift 1, 2, and 3 are your headlights. And then 4, 5, and 6 are your rear headlights. 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, and 0 are your 7 is both front. marker lights. 8 is just the rear. And 9 is just the rear. 7 is both. So that's a little nice little detail. Inside, it doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit clean for me, but then again, the Victorian era locomotives tended to be a little bit better cared for. Can't open the windows. They are connected, so you can't open them individually. Whistle. It is quillable if you do it from the cab like that. It is not quillable from space, best I can tell. So, tried a few combos, couldn't get anywhere. Of course, our throttle. Don't know. I assume those are our injectors. Unfortunately, it doesn't show hands on things that you can touch. We do have different cab views. Oh, well, the blower shows up. Well, there's our blower. Sanders. Yeah, we'll go ahead and open those up. Let's see if it pushes sand outside. Sanders are on. They don't push sand out, unfortunately. But, oh well. Of course, our firebox. Looks pretty decent. It's got a nice glow to it. Now, there isn't a way to manually control the stoking. You just gotta... Oh, maybe I lied. I did not notice this. I've been playing around with this for a couple hours yesterday. Huh. I lied. You can manually control the stoking. Now, I do know, however, there's not a camera view to really show you the level that your fire's at, so I tend to run with the F5 HUD to see where my mass is at. I assume this is more of our injector parts. Handbrake, locomotive brake, cylinder cocks, and reverser, which does have a reverser lock, so you will have to open it with the U key. Let's hop outside and see if it functions. It does. It's not smooth, but it does function. It is there. It does noticeable. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much forward, centered, and reversed. At least it moves though. Of course, right now our brakes are not set. Our brakes are released. So let's see if the brakes set. Go ahead and set the E-brake. We're good. Got a pretty decent fire. Open our damper down there a little bit. And let's see the brake. Looks like our brakes do indeed set. So let's pull up our F4 HUD. The the locomotive brake is your handbrake on the F4 HUD. It does indeed move. That's pretty cool. Of course, the train brake is doesn't sound as train brake, which they do move very slowly, but they do move. That's pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. So, enough yapping, I know. Let's get it on the road. Right there. Woo! Nice stream of sparks. Nice exhaust effects overall. Steam effects are pretty typical. Nothing wild or fancy there. They're kind of Let's look inside the frame and watch things move. As I said, everything is nicely modeled inside the frame, so it is very satisfying to sit here and watch it all operate. Runs nice and smooth. It looks really good. Really not a whole lot to critique about this pack. Again, it's freeware. It's really hard to go wrong with freeware. We are on the I'm Koblitzer route. Just an FYI, I already know somebody's probably going to go off. Well, what's that route? That's what it is. Unusual. Is that part of the locomotive? Don't think so. But we're going to roll up here to the train station. Show you guys the doors opening. Ah, the V key plays a little tune for the whistle. Did not notice that. That's pretty cool. I like that. See how well our quality brakes work. Not too bad. Now, since this is a mixed train, a lot of these cars aren't fitted, so we're essentially just braking using the locomotive, so you do have to plan for that if you're using a setup like that. It will take some distance to stop. Let's go ahead. So that was a cool feature too. The actual door latches do unlock and spin open. So very neat to watch. Very neat indeed. Some new characters for platforms and whatnot would be nice. Some of these guys and gals are a lot updated. Close. A little sad they don't make any real noise. No like slammering or anything, but yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. It's fun to watch them. So unfortunately, the pump does not physically operate, even though you do hear it. Running. Let's get it out on the road. Let's get it up to some speed. Sounds really good. I don't know what this thing's actually supposed to sound like in real life, but as it sits, it really does sound pretty darn good. And we do have some neat physics going on here. Neat, not physics, features. Got some neat features going on here. We're going in a tunnel, and the smoke, instead of going straight up through the ground, as is ever common, it actually does end up swirling around in the tunnel with you. I need to pull back on our gas part here. That's a pretty cool feature. another cool feature, the whistle. The whistle steam will change with the intensity of the whistle. So that's a fun thing to watch. Let's see if we can figure out these injectors here. Doesn't drip a little water. However, it does push steam out here on the side. Going uphill. I don't believe he's going from this. Nope. It'll level out in a second. Definitely not a powerhouse of locomotive, so don't plan on pulling mile-long trains with it. Again, this is very early. Well, the late 1800s steam, but Victorian era steam, so not powerhouses by any means. Over here to the tunnel. Aw, can't really hear it. Pretty nice rolling stock sounds. Got a nice little clickety clack, nice roll to them. Let's see, how long does this tunnel last? Does not say, unfortunately. I probably picked this ICE route. Yeah, I probably did end up picking a freaking tunnel. My bad, guys. Well, that makes sense. Maybe this tunnel doesn't run the entire way, though. Looks like this tunnel runs the entire way. Bad decision for a steam locomotive. Nope, there's an ending. Looks like an ending. Let's hope it's an ending. We don't want to be stuck in a tunnel the entire way. I was just hoping to have a spot that we could get out and let it stretch. We're doing 50. There is no speedometer in here, unfortunately. There are some fun cab views. Now, with your top speed being about 90 kilometers an hour, you're not really going to be a speed demon. And it definitely takes a second for this locomotive to really get up and go past about 50 kilometers an hour, as was seen. But it is a fun one. Ah, balls. There's another freaking tunnel. We'll stop it out here. Sounds pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. I love the just idle smoke here. The idle smoke looks really, really nice. For, you know, a video game. Honestly, it looks really good. It's not quite the noticeable cotton balls that some things are. But anyway, there it is, fellas. The NS1300 pack from WaysideWorks, developed by Pheonix Developments. Really neat pack. It's freeware. It's really hard to go wrong if you really enjoy the early Steam era, the kind of mid to early Steam era with the more ornate, smaller locomotives and rolling stock. I definitely recommend checking this pack out. As far as routes go, I don't really know where these locomotives would fit in per se, but they're a lot of fun either way. They look good, so definitely go check them out. I will put the link in the description, and that is it. I will see you guys next time.